So the story takes place in 2023. I am 16 years old, actually just about to turn 17 years old, and I've started my transition year. Now this is the year, if I mentioned this in previous videos all the time, this is my most degenerate year. This is the year that I indulge in lots of degenerate activities, include clubbing, drinking alcohol, vaping, doing degenerate shit, nearly get myself arrested, all this stuff because I just did because I was a stupid teenager. So this story of how I got my first girlfriend. So I'm gonna give you the demographic right here. This is right after I finished my junior year, which is basically, it didn't matter. It's kind of like the exam to prepare you for the big exam, if you get what I mean. So it's like a whole, it's basically like the curriculum of the big exam, just condensed into the small exam, if you get what I mean. So obviously I started transition year, and there was this girl. For the sake of the story, I'll call her Amy for the sake of the story. So me and Amy she was like kind of a new student. Amy was a new student coming into the school. Before my previous years being in high school, that she wasn't even in the school. She moved from a different school, which was, I think it was 15 kilometers away. And then after, it all started when she added me on Snapchat one of the days, and then I added her back. Then she started texting me. She was like, hi. And then I just said hi back. And then the conversation just started and excelled by there. And then the story happens of where we get to know each other. We talk every night. Every time I come home from school, I would go over and I would go on my phone, and then I would talk to her for the rest of the day. The conversations were pretty surface level. They weren't like anything to write home about. They were just like, oh, how was your day? Oh, what's your favorite color? Oh, what do you want to do in the future? Just, basic questions. It wasn't deep questions of oh, about marriage. Just oh, what do you think about getting married young? Or any questions how many children do you want? Stuff like that. But there weren't questions that were being asked to me. They were just questions. We just asked surface level basic questions. But then after eventually she actually confessed her feelings. This was about a month and a half in, and she confessed her feelings to me. So then after, I was just like, oh, she likes me, I guess. So why not get with her? So I was just like, all right, sure. And then she asked me, oh, do you want to be together? I was like, sure, why not? And then, because the thing is, I was just like, oh, why not have a girlfriend? Sure, why not? Why not? I didn't even have the intention of going through and just looking oh, what's my picture perfect woman? What do I want in a woman? And just not thinking of oh, what's the best woman that I can get? No, what's the best woman that's available to me right now? That's what you got to figure out. You got to figure out what woman's the best for you, not what's available to you right now. And that's the one big mistake I made in this relationship. I didn't look at the woman, and I just looked at her for because she likes me back, so I might as well just like her back. So, and thing is, right, every time I would go out with her, we only went out 2 or 3 times, right? But every time we would text each other nonstop every single day. But in school we were we'd even talk to each other, which was it's pretty weird when you're talking to this person and you get to know this person for a long time, but when you guys get together, you don't even talk to each other in school in person, only in text, which is why? Eventually we did we're talking to each other. Obviously we were hanging out with each other. I was going out with her for lunch. We were just hanging out, just having a good time. That's it, For the type of, she was the type of girl who was kind of reserved, and she was more how would I say? She was more into herself. She wasn't an extrovert where she would talk and she would talk to everyone. She'd be the kind of person where she doesn't have many friends in school. She just she likes to be left alone, and she's not really an approachable person. But for me, I don't know how I managed to get her when she wasn't a really approachable person. Obviously, because she added me on quick add on Snapchat, and that's how we got talking. The story of how this happened is looking back on it, I felt I just wanted her, not for her. I wanted her just because I want the label of oh, Sean has a girlfriend. So why not have a girlfriend so I can look like a higher status man? Because I have a woman, I have a woman beside me, not because of oh, what values she portrays or what she condemns to the relationship. No, it was just like, oh, if like she likes me back, then why not, you know? Like why not? It's not of like, oh, I actually want and I'm prepared to have a relationship, which is what you guys should be doing. What you guys should be doing, you shouldn't go off. And I hear people like all the time that says like, even like people 15, 16 years old, they're like intimate with each other when they're like that age, which is a very young age, to be honest with you. But with me, it's just like once you have religion and once you have a higher power, which is God, thank God, I'm able to stay faithful. I'm able to wait till marriage with my current woman right now, which is a very good sign, because that's what you want to do. If you want to go, like, I know there's obviously like all this like red pill social media stuff. I know they want to have sex with as many women as possible. Like, obviously you can do that if you want to. Like, I used to do that. Like, obviously not the sex part, but I used to like talk to a load of girls. I used to pull a lot of girls, but just like, it wasn't really my thing. Like, obviously once I found Christianity, then I actually found like what I was meant to look for, which was actually a long-term committed relationship with one woman and to grow with her. The story of like how, like, even like why I got into this relationship in the first place was just like, I think just out of the label, I wanted a girlfriend at the time. Even during my relationship, actually, when I was with that girl, Amy, I call her Amy for the video, but when I was with that girl, I didn't even feel like I wanted like I didn't feel like it was the right one. Even in my heart, my gut feeling was like, it's not the right woman that you should be with, and it's not the right time to have a girlfriend. You just wanted a girlfriend just because like, oh, because everyone else has one and it just makes you look cool. But I didn't look at her values. Excuse me. But I didn't look at her values and what she portrayed as to me. And if I did look at her values, then it would be a different story. I obviously wouldn't get with her in the first place because she wasn't a high quality girl to begin with. I'll tell you why. She wasn't anything like mean or like anything like that. She wasn't toxic, but just the way like she was giving love, she didn't know how to give love in a relationship. I think she wanted like a boyfriend, but even though she didn't know how to be like the boyfriend, I mean, she didn't know how to be the girlfriend in the relationship. She didn't know how to love. So it was kind of just like, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it kind of just died down, the relationship. Like, there was no love, there was no connection, there was nothing pulling us together, which made us wanting to come back to each other again. So it just kind of died off, and it was just like, oh, hi, are you? It's just surface level stuff. It's not really like, oh, you're talking about your future, have a goal with each other. It's not really. It's just like, oh, why not have a girlfriend? Like, oh, she's probably like, oh, why not have a boyfriend? So we didn't have the same values. So when you're looking for a relationship, look for the individual who has the same values as you. Look for an individual who wants to grow with you. He will love you as much as you love them. That's an important part. Make sure you can communicate with the other person. Make sure that other person that you eventually want to marry make sure you like actually look at the person and say like, oh, if you want to marry this girl, then go ahead and marry. Because like if you look around and if you look at the girls and you're thinking a relationship in your gut feeling, like obviously you have a gut feeling that it just feels bad that this is not the right woman for the relationship, then obviously that's not what you want to do. Don't get in the relationship if you're not gonna intend to marry with the woman. Obviously my job and my channel is geared towards like marriage and getting with a person to marry, not getting with a person to have sex and that's it, and leaving there and go to a different girl. That's not my channel. My channel is more about marrying. Even with religion really helps. Even if it doesn't have to be Christianity. Like, Christianity is my main religion, but it can be Islam, like any religion, honestly. Any religion that focuses on dedication to your partner and making sure to get married with them in the best way possible and have the best life with them. That's what I feel is the right approach. I know other guys can be like by the manosphere of like social media and stuff like that it's so cool to like, oh, go out with a girl and hook up with her, go to the club and then go see another girl, do this, do that. I don't think about like that, honestly. Like, those are my values. I used to be this person who was like that, and I grew from that. But yeah, that's what I think, and that's the story of my first relationship. This is just my advice that I would give as my younger individual, what I would do as like a younger individual, like me, if I was 15, 16 years old, getting into that first relationship, not even getting in that first relationship, but thinking before I was going to get into that first relationship, that I think about these values before you get with a woman. So yeah, hopefully you found value in this video, guys, and that's all from me.